Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Assalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Amma ba'ad, fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair wa bika nasta'inu ya fattahu ya fattahu ya fattahu. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hope you all are doing good. And in today's lesson, you know, this is the 48th lesson of Let's Learn Arabic Grammar. And in today's session, our topic is Jumla Faylia. Of a Jumla, a sentence that is based on action. So action-based sentence, and in under Jumla Faylia, we have two topics. Parts of a Jumla Faylia. First, we are going to see what are the parts of Jumla Faylia, and then we are going to focus on one part of Jumla Faylia, which is detail or Mafool. So we are going to do the types of detail today, which is the main topic for today's session, because other parts of Jumla Faylia we are almost covered in our previous sessions. Okay, so this is the definition of Jumla Faylia. What is Jumla Faylia? You know, there are two types of sentences in Arabic, two types of Jumla, Jumla Ismiya and Jumla Faylia. In previous lessons, we were doing Jumla Ismiya, and in today's lesson, we are doing Jumla Faylia. So a sentence which begins with a fail is always a Jumla Faylia. There are no exceptions. So if a sentence is beginning with a fail, in the very beginning of a sentence, if you find a fail, then it is Jumla Faylia. Another definition is a Jumla based on a fail or a Jumla based on an action is a Jumla Faylia. Okay, so this is the definition. And then there are different parts of Jumla Faylia. Just like you learn that there are different parts of Jumla Ismiya, like Mubtada, Khabar, and Muta'alliq bil Khabar, which are three parts of Jumla Ismiya. Now, in today's session, we are doing parts of Jumla Faylia. So there are three parts of Jumla Faylia too, but the names are different, and their actions, their effects, their effects are also different. So in Jumla Faylia, the first part is obviously the action, which is fail. It can be fail madi, past tense. It can be fail mudare, present and future tense, or it can be forbidding or commanding fail. So the first part of Jumla Faylia is the fail itself, the action. And fail, you know, in Arabic includes action and mention of time both. Okay, and then the second part is fa'il, the doer, the one who carries out the action. Okay, and the third is the detail about the action, to whom the effect of action is going on, or the done to detail, or we can say where the action is going on, what's the time for the action. So these are details of action, and all these details are called Mafool. Okay, and the thing is, fail and file. In previous lessons, we almost covered knowledge about fail and file, because from lesson 20 to 26, I recorded lessons for past tense, fail madi, present and future tense together, fail mudare, and forbidding and commanding fi'l. So we know in fi'l madi and fi'l mudare, both in almost all types of fi'l, sometimes we have most of the time we have fail and file together in the same word, right? If most of the time in past tense and present tense, we have fail and file together in one word. And alhamdulillah, we already covered those topics: past tense, present tense, forbidding, and commanding fail from lesson 20th lesson to 26th lesson. So if you want to revise these lessons, you can watch those videos. Our focus today is on the types of detail. So first, Mafool. Mafool is what? Mafool is defined as a detail that pertains to the action. So informations about additional information about the action besides the doer. Besides the doer, if additional information that is there in the sentence about the action, those informations are called maf'ul. So, but there are different types of maf'ul. There are different types of detail. The detail can be there, an ism can be there to tell you whom the action was done to, or what was the thing the action was done to. So this type of maf'ul has a particular name. Then another word in the sentence will be telling you where the action took place or when the action took place. So these type of words that tell you where the action took place or when the action took place, these have another specific name. Then how the action took place, why the action took place, these are also there in words in a Jumla Faylia. So here different types of details we can see. Okay. So let's take example. This is like this is an English sentence just to have an idea of what different types of details can be there in a sentence. So Ahmad ate chocolate at home yesterday happily because he was hungry. First, this is a action-based sentence. So ate is the action, fail, and it is a fail. Why? Because action of eating is there, but this word is telling us that the action was done. Action happened in the past. So action plus time. So this is a fail. So ate is the fail, and who is the file? The doer. So Ahmad is the file, the doer. Then we have chocolate. So chocolate is an ism on which the action was done, right? Action of eating. So this is what the action was done to. Chocolate is the thing the action was done to. And then at home is telling us where the action took place. And yesterday is telling us when the action took place. The same way, happily is telling us how the action took place. And then this whole you can say sentence or clause, because he was hungry. Because he was hungry. So because he was hungry is telling us why the action took place. So these are different details. Every answer that we are getting about the action is a different type of detail or different type of maf'ul. So what the action was, what the action done to, actually the word that tells the words that tell you what the action what is the thing action was done to or whom the action was done to, those type of mafool are mafool bihi. Okay, so this is direct object. You can say the direct object is mafool bihi. The type of details that tell you where the action took place or when the action took place, those kind of details are mafool fihi. And the words that tell you how the action took place, they are called either mafoolul hal or mafoolul mutlaq. Okay, how the action took place, what was the intensity, or how much emphasis was there in the action, that is mafoolun mutlaq. And the state of the action, the state of the file, that is mafoolul hal. And in the last, we have why those words or a part of sentence that tells us why the action took place is mafoolul lahu. Okay, so mafool lahu. So these are different types of details. Now let's see how to identify. Again, we know these are the questions you are going to follow. But before you look for mafool, first identify the action word, the fail, and the doer. First identify the fail and the file, and then ask who or what the action was done to. Okay, so that is your mafoolun bihi. Then you see when and where the action took place. That is mafoolun fihi. Then how did it happen? How did the action happen? So that is mafool mutlaq, or if that word is telling you the state of the doer or the state of the action, then that is mafoolul hal. And the last is why the action was done. So that is mafool lahu. So these are different types of mafool, and all mafool are mansoob. They are nasb in status. And there are 6 types of mafa'il. So let's see these types. Mafoolun bihi is direct object. Who or what the action done to. Mafoolun fihi is where and when the action took place or is going to take place. Mafool lahu tells you why the action took place. Mafool mutlaq, how the action took place. Mafool hal or simply hal, it tells you the state of the doer or the action or the environment in which the action was done, a state of these 3 things. So hal tells you the state of the action, state of the file or the mafool. And then the 6th one is mutaliq bil fail. If you can recall mutaliq bil khabar. Mutaliq bil khabar is what? Harf of jar fragment, harf jar and ism majroor combination, or a special mudaf or of place and time, special mudaf of place and time, and mudaf ilayh. So these 2 combinations are usually called, and if they are about the action, they are called mutaliq bil fail. So these are different types of detail. And coming on to the first type, today we are going to cover mafool bihi in this lesson, and inshallah next few lessons, we'll be doing Mafoolun fihi, Mafool lahu, Mafool mutlaq. Okay. So Mafoolun bihi is direct object and it tells you who or what was the action done to. And this is the most common of the 6 mafail. So in most of the sentence, you will see at least mafool bihi. If the fail is a mutadi one, mutadi means transitive one, then you will see a mafool bihi. Okay. But mafool bihi can be there in the sentence in 2 forms. Okay. So mafool bihi, you can find mafool bihi in 2 forms. First is the regular ism. You can see a regular ism in the sentence which is in nasb status, outside the fail and other than the file. So this is the example of that thing. And another form that you can see mafoolun bihi is in the form of an attached pronoun. Attached pronoun that is attached to the fail. That is another form in which you would find mafool bihi. So this ayah is the example of mafoolun bihi with a regular apparent ism in a Jumla Faylia. Khalaqa is what? He created. This word khalaqa has fail and file both. Action and the doer both. Khalaqa has a hidden huwa, right? So he created. What did he create? Skies and the earth. As-samawati wal arda. As-samawati is in nasb status. Am I right? Yes, because samawatun, samawatin, samawatin. Muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. So this is in nasb status, and wal arda is obviously in the nasb status. So these are 2 mafoolun bihi for khalaqa. And then in this sentence, we have example of an attached pronoun which is attached to the fail as a mafoolun bihi. You know, attached pronouns are always either nasb or jar. They cannot be rafa, right? So if there is an attached pronoun, so if there is an attached pronoun with a fail, it is a mafoolun bihi. Sa'alahu hamidun. Sa'alahu hamidun. Sa'ala is what? Fi'l madin. And it has an inside doer, huwa. And if it's huwa form, then we have to look whether we can find another ism which is in rafa status as an outside doer. So we have that ism. Hamidun is rafa ism and it is in rafa ism. So it is an outside doer. So the translation would be Hamid asked him. Hamid asked him why, who is the attached pronoun, and it is the mafool bihi. So who asked? Hamid asked. Whom was he asked whom? Hamid asked him, another person. Okay, and these are different examples in which these are very good examples for a regular ism which is in nasb status outside the fail, and there are examples also mafoolun bihi as an attached pronoun. So over here we have a mafoolun bihi which is an attached pronoun, who, which is attached form of huwa. So sa'alahu, sa'ala again huwa, damir mustatir, hidden, and inside pronoun. And we have an outside ism which is rafa. So Hamid is the file. Hamid asked him. The same way over here we don't have a rafa, outside rafa ism. So the actual file is huwa. Okay. Sa'ala huwa is the actual file. And Hamidan, which is in nasb status, is mafulun bihi. So here we have a regular ism outside regular ism in the nasb status, which is mafulun bihi. So he asked Hamid. Now we have sa'alahu. He asked him. We don't have any outside rafa ism. We don't have outside nasb ism. Sa'ala has huwa, which is hidden. Fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu huwa. So he asked, and who is the attached pronoun, which is maf'ulun bihi. So he asked him. Sa'alaka Hamidun. Over here, ka is attached pronoun. Ka is attached pronoun for anta. Anta is the detached pronoun, independent pronoun. But ka is the attached version for anta. So sa'alaka Hamidun. Hamid asked you. Here we have the inside doer with past tense. Sa'alta. Sa'alta is you asked. And you asked whom? Hamidan. Mafulun bihi. So this is the example of regular ism as mafulun bihi. Here we have an attached pronoun as mafulun bihi. Whom with sa'alta. You asked them. Then sa'alani Hamidun. Here we have an attached pronoun ni as a mafulun bihi. So Hamid asked me. Sa'altu Hamidan. Now Sa'altu. Ana is the doer. I asked Hamid. Sa'altuka. I asked you. Again, another example of attached pronoun as mafulun bihi. Okay. So these are different examples for mafulun bihi, direct object, whether in the form of regular ism outside nasb, regular ism, or in the form of attached pronoun. And then we have a lesson exercise that we are going to do in the interactive session. Okay, so this is the last slide of our lesson today. So let's conclude our session with dua. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. If you have any question, you can ask me in the interactive session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.